Hey guys, welcome back to another part in the Building a PC video series. If you guys are enjoying this so far, let us know in the comment section below. Just a reminder, at any time, if you want to view the different sections that are separated by category of this series, you can find that in the description box below. Before we continue with the series, if you're interested in genuine Microsoft software at a great price, check out Indigo Software. We'll have links in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so that last part was a little bit too hard to show on camera. Basically, I just powered on the computer and went into the BIOS with a display and a keyboard to make sure that everything was reading properly. And now that we're good at that point, we're going to go ahead and start actually building this out in the case. So as a part of the preparation for the case, as you can see, mine does not have a pre-installed cutout here for the connectors, but it did come with my motherboard, and so we're simply just going to click this into place. Alright, once we have this in place, I'm going to go ahead and lay the case down. Now I have some cables here running out the back, and I'm just going to gently set those to the side. Now before I actually move on to setting the motherboard in here, I'm going to plug in the CPU 8-pin connectors because they are notoriously difficult to do after the fact. So just wanted to mention that before actually moving on. Alright, and now that those are plugged in, we're going to very gently lay in our motherboard. We're just going to do a dry fit first. I'm using the 632 screws, also in the included hardware. The M3s are generally going to be too small of a size, so typically it's the bigger. And I'm just going one by one with these, gently securing the motherboard to the case. Alright, so at this point we'll be taking care of a little bit of wiring before moving on with the PC build. So we have audio to wire, we have some LEDs to wire, USB ports, that type of thing that are on the case, and they need to get connected to the computer. So with these cables, there's little cutouts in the bottom, which is where we need to go for some of these power switch cables and whatnot. So I'm going to go underneath with the front panel wire. And I got that one snapped into place. Alright guys, so I've been working on this for a while now. Quite an overkill setup with the cooling system for the CPU, but I ended up on something pretty cool and I think you guys will like it. So we ended up going for the push-pull system here. The case fan had the exact same fans as the fans for the cooler. And so I ended up putting these two fans in the exhaust configuration with the case fans in the front configuration, which leaves us with this kind of push-pull setup for the cooling. And so totally overkill and totally not necessary, but I think it ended up pretty cool. So it's been a little bit hard for me to show you guys every step of the process, but I'm going to do my very best to explain everything that I'm doing in this build. And so I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this. Alright, so with the cooling system in place, I am now moving on to installing the power supply unit. I just dry fitted it, and mine has an intake at the bottom, which means it's ideal to go fan down in order to get airflow on this unit. And so now I'm going to go ahead and plug in all of the connectors before actually installing the PSU in its place. So I already have the CPU power connectors from earlier. I'm going to run these straight down and over, and we're going to plug these guys in. And then for me, I have two 8-pin connectors that go into the graphics card. So we're going to go ahead and plug those in advance. And I'm just leaving the cables somewhere accessible for now. The motherboard connector will go in as well. Alright, it's now time to install my GPU. I have loosened and kind of slid this little slot cover out of the way. And then we actually have to take these off as well to make room for our graphics card. Now I'm going to be using the top slot. Since the ATX motherboard, the top slot is generally preferred just because it has the absolute most bandwidth. So we're going to be using that, and we're just going to gently slide this guy into place. Alright guys, so as we can see, I have just finished installing the graphics card. Let me rotate this so you can see more. So I just slid it into place here, tightened down on the screws on the side. Make sure it's all the way clicked and seated into its slot in the motherboard. And then I've also just been kind of running some cables for the fans and stuff like that. So we're coming along nicely here. Let's go ahead and keep going. Alright guys, so the new Indigo Software PC is fully built. I really hope you guys were able to find some value of watching me put that together. We figured we'd make a quick little video series about it just to help show you guys part of the process of building your own computer and rig. And we're going to be using this to make tons of server related content, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. So that's going to do it for this part of the video. If you guys are interested in genuine Microsoft software at a great price, check out Indigo Software. We'll have links in the description box below. Again, you can find the other parts to these videos in the description box in case you want to follow along with those. Alright, so thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.